Hello, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dark Crosser, and today we're gonna reaction to SCP-1675 made by Detective Void. So it's such a long time I do not watch his video, especially the SCP. I think I remember it when I made a Marvin one. The last one I did, the monster one, kind of that thing. But yeah, today we're gonna reaction to SCP-167. Its name is Goshen Terminator. SCP animation made by Detective Void. So if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification. And do the same thing to Detective Void like I do to his channel. Make sure to do that. And if you're new here, make sure to share it to your friend and your family. Okay, make sure to do that. Okay, do not forget about that. Okay, look, I just already like it, so make sure to do the same thing on my channel. So yeah, that's all I want to talk to you about. So I don't want to talk too much. Let's go to the reaction. Ooh, Detective Void, such a long time, my boy.
Pierre loved to play John Connor from Terminator 2. His mother also received treatment in a psychiatric hospital.
Why?
And he himself was brought up in a foster family. Pierre often dreamed that one day the evil T-1000 would attack him, and the T-800 would come to save him. Nevertheless, Pierre did not live in Hollywood, but rather a French village practically no one
Damn, Hollywood? Okay.
knew even existed. Robots from the future were unlikely to be found here even in the future. The boy's adoptive parents bred geese, which Pierre simply couldn't stand. He wanted to move to the city as soon as he could, so that he would no longer have to hear these geese cackling. And with these thoughts, Pierre threw more goose droppings into the special little cart. Maneuvering it, he imagined he was riding a motorcycle, just like John Connor. He was so carried away that he didn't even notice his cart had crashed into something hard.
Oh,
Pierre was
that's right.
frightened, since this could have gotten him harshly reprimanded by his adoptive father. But then, there were even more reasons to be afraid.
What the freak is that? I know it, the Terminator, but I do not remember Terminator have a huge body like that. Okay, I just remember it. He's like a half human, half robot, like that. But damn, look at that, a lot of missile.
Pierre raised his head and saw a strange two-legged robot in front of him. Right at that moment, Pierre realized that he should be careful with his desires. Now the only thing left for the boy to do was run. However, a strong fear paralyzed him. He stumbled back and fell into a trough with geese feed, after which he began to slowly back away. The creature extended its metallic arms towards Pierre. He'd figured that the T-1000 came for him, but it was not worth counting Arnold Schwarzenegger to come to the
That's
rescue.
good, man.
When the metal fingers were just a few inches from Pierre, the mechanical creature uttered the phrase, "All geese must burn in hell." After that, the robot grabbed the neck of a goose that was standing next.
Oh no, not a geese, bro. Do not do that to the geese. Geese do not do anything bad to him. He just, suddenly, whoop, slide down his own.
To Pierre and strangled the bird with its strong.
I mean, at least you can cook it, cooking, not cookies, okay? Cook that duck or goose because you can eat, maybe delicious.
Grip. Then this goose hater said that a good goose is a dead goose and disappeared behind the barn. Pierre was now breathing heavily as he tried to comprehend what was happening. He realized that in this story he himself is the Terminator and all his geese are John Connor's. As it turns out, his task is to save the birds so that they prevent a machine uprising in the future. This goose racist, or anti-goose actually, was SCP-1675.
What?
It's an automation with two legs that with all of its heart, if it has any...
You said that human or something SCP, made that Terminator or, already himself to kill the goose, that's all. Wow, kinda useless,
Wars geese. Like many mechanical
Yeah,
anomalies,
geese.
SCP-1675 does not require fuel or any other source of power. Despite being small at just over 3 feet, it appears quite formidable thanks to its shoulder-mounted machine guns and powerful manipulator hands. The creature's body is lined with armored metal plates. SCP-1675 poses no danger to humans. Normally, the creature simply wanders around the containment chamber. However, as soon as the representatives of the genus geese appear on the horizon, be it Answer, Branta, or Chen, the automation becomes furious. He shouts anti-goose slogans in French through a speaker near...
Bro, it's almost like you see this. Wait.
As soon as the
It's almost like peace is never option. When Goose, holding the knife, it's like peace is never an option. Oh my god, the
representatives of
meme.
the genus geese appear on the horizon. Be it Answer, Branta, or Chen, the automation becomes furious. He shouts anti-goose slogans in French through a speaker near its head. SCP-1675 seeks to exterminate all birds and those respective species by any means necessary. At the same time, it employs a variety of methods and has displayed good tactical combat training. Granted, this is not always necessary. When the object was given a normal domestic goose, it strangled it with its hands as it said, "The only good goose is a dead goose." When the Goose Terminator was offered a combat knife, he gladly cut the throat of another experimental goose.
Holy crap,
After a massacre,
bro.
SCP-1675 uttered the phrase,
Bro, that's a little bit violent. Imagine if, people fight people and the one, that person knocked down, and the Terminator say, a good human is that human, and he kill all the human and nothing else. Oh my god.
"There will be no peace on Earth until all the geese are dead." The launch tubes for the object's projectiles are usually kept empty for security purposes. But when they're loaded, SCP-1675 shot another bird at point-blank range with the
Man, poor little goose over there.
words, "Geese are a blight that must be purged." The object was no less cruel to 3 Canadian geese. He also strangled one with his mechanical fingers and shot the other 2 with shells left over from the previous experiment, since the employees had failed to remove them. During the massacre, the following phrase was heard: "All geese shall roast in the flames of righteous justice."
Sheesh.
But the mute swan was very lucky. At first, the object did not react at all to the bird. But when it approached, the automation simply pushed it aside with his hand, as it stated, "There's nothing to see here. Move along." And all because the swans do not belong in the genus geese. So apparently the object's indifferent to them. I would assume that you must have some questions, of course.
Of
Where
course.
does such hatred for geese come from? Why would someone need to build a complex anomalous mechanism just to destroy geese?
That's
yes,
true.
and at the same time, use hate speech. Obviously, geese have a lot of haters in nature, and we're not just talking about predators. No predator wants their favorite food to disappear from their territory. But prior to its capture, SCP-1675 destroyed almost the entire local population of geese on a 27-hectare site. Competing species of birds such as ducks would probably want to get rid of these geese, but they certainly would not possess the intelligence to solve this problem unless it's an anomalous duck person. An entity matching this description is contained within the walls of the Foundation under the name
Wait.
SC.
Don't tell me is Donald Duck the richest man, not Donald Duck from Mickey Mouse, the another one, the movie one, the richest one.
P-1952. This is a man belonging to the species Homo erectus. Only instead of legs it has webbed
What
paws.
the frick is
like
that?
A duck from the
What
bufflehead
the hell?
species. SCP-1952 also has white duck feathers on its back, an additional gastrointestinal tract, and a helmet that's tightly screwed onto its skull. His intelligence is higher than most humans, so theoretically he could construct some kind of anti-goose automation. There's just one problem. SCP-1952 hates ducks, not geese, because ducks are what made him that way. According to the Duck Man, he used to be an ordinary primitive man, but at some point he was kidnapped by star ducks that arrived on a spaceship shaped like an egg. They began to perform terrible experiments on him, to include forcing him to dance. They cut off his legs, gave him webbed feet, feathers, and attached a helmet to his skull. This helmet's increased his intellect, but in order for it to not lose its power, it's necessary to constantly consume electronic parts. Several conclusions can be drawn from what's been said. The Starducks have become imbued with sympathy for their earthly comrade.
Really? An alien of duck? Really?
In their competition with geese. They kidnapped a man so that he could construct a goose terminator. But this version doesn't seem wholly logical to me, since it would be more reasonable to program SCP-1675 to kill predators that threaten ducks and not to kill geese. Although it is possible that the Duckman created the object of his own free will. He created SCP-1675 from scrap materials for the purpose of revenge. SCP-1952 wanted a mechanical-like killer to kill ducks, but the language barrier got in the way. Most likely, in the time of Homo erectus, the word goose was also used to refer to ducks. Maybe they were synonyms, which is why Duckman didn't think it mattered what command he gave SCP-1675. Thus, it was supposed to be the duck killer, but the goose hater came out instead. But what does the French language have to do with it then? Did Homo erectus, the forerunner of Homo sapiens, speak French? Hardly, since this language did not appear before the 6th century. If, of course, our knowledge of history is correct. Exactly, history. One must reference it, of course. There's a legend according to which geese saved ancient Rome. When the Gauls wanted to capture Capitoline Hill in Rome during the night, the geese cackled so loudly that they woke up the sleeping guards. Thus, the siege was repelled, and the Gauls, as an ethnic group, eventually ceased to exist.
Okay.
As you know, the Gauls lived in the territory of modern France. In my opinion, some of the surviving Gauls may have gone underground and worked out a...
Hey, that's looking good, you know? An not army, I mean kind of armor type of shit, RGB.
plan of revenge for many generations. They saw the main reason as their defeat as the geese. They followed technical progress as well as language changes. The Gauls painfully accepted that in their land, the French language replaced their native language, but still put up with it. However, living secretly far from civilization, one can't keep track of everything. The Gauls missed the fact that wars with the Roman Empire, and even more so, with geese are no longer relevant. So they created a completely nonsensical goose terminator, shouting phrases in French. It was assumed that in the next attack, SCP-1675 would destroy all the geese.
Run, Goose, run!
Which the Gauls could easily defeat the Romans. Still, an automaton with machine guns would have been no less effective against the Romans themselves. But who's to make sense of this ancient logic? According to my other version, SCP-1675 was created for mass hunting, and the lines that discredit the geese were added by the creators just because they think it would be cool. If this hypothesis is correct, then SCP-1675 must have massacred domestic geese at the farm, or wild geese for hunting. But that would only be possible if SCP-1675 was limited to a throat slit or neck fracture. The object's machine gun turns bird carcasses
That's a
into
lot
a
of hole.
and makes them not all that suitable for later sale or consumption. Still, this could also have been conceived on purpose. I'd venture to guess that SCP-1675 was developed by some goose meat manufacturer to eliminate competitors' products. The object was secretly placed on goose farms, where it destroyed all the birds, after which it was taken back. This is supported by SCP-1675's obedience to humans. But at some point, the object went beyond the farm and accidentally ended up in the forest. There, having seen many of his targets, the Terminator did what it loved until it was eventually discovered by the Foundation staff. So among the theories I've mentioned thus far, which one do you like the most? Let me know in the comments below, and share this video with your friends.
Alright, as he say, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification, and don't forget to share it to your friend, as Dr. Void said to us. And make sure to do the same thing to my channel to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification. Yeah, I think that robot is kinda useless because he just attacked a freaking goose. Imagine that dark human things create the freaking robot to kill human. That's another problem. So we should kill him. Just kill him already, you know. Do not waste any time. Anyway, who knows, this is just a fiction. So if you guys enjoy it, as I say, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification. If you already do that, make sure to share it to your friend and your family, someone you know, someone you love. So that's all for today. Have a good day, have a good night, goodbye, and always stay home.